Long years of experience in the company's own production activities have provided the Egger Autoplastics and Laboratory Technology Company with a comprehensive catalog. From material to tools all the way to complete laboratory equipment, you can order all the products required for the manufacture of autoplastics, backed up by the requisite expertise. Marley skin forms a film to protect the hands for 4 hours from allergic reactions and irritations. The first step in the production of SE molds in a concha form is to cut the impression to size. These tools and materials are used for trimming the impression. The thread with the impression plug is then removed. A universal knife is used to cut away the overhanging impression material, which forms the sides above the concha at a right angle. The impression is cut flat on the outside with the universal knife. The seal zone must not be damaged. The auditory canal is cut with the universal knife at a right angle to the auditory canal wall. This makes it easier to form the subsequent sound escape. The incoming sound waves are directed toward the eardrum and not against the auditory canal wall. If the auditory canal has a pronounced conical course, it should be carefully removed in this area with a pear-shaped or pointed trimmer to simplify the insertion of the finished mold into the wearer's ear. Negative forms made of a duplicating material are manufactured for SE molds made of light curing materials. These tools and machines are used for manufacturing negative forms from this duplicating material. The electric wax knife is used to correct inaccuracies on the impression with red correcting wax. Great care must be taken not to apply too much, as this might cause pressure or stress points on the ear mold. The temperature in the electric wax immersion unit is maintained at a consistent 100 degrees Celsius. The impression is placed in a dipping sieve and dipped vertically into the liquid wax. The impression must be completely covered by the dipping wax. After a brief cooling period, the impression is positioned in the middle of the bottom part of the investment form, and the ring form is inserted into the bottom. The duplicating material is kept liquid inside the duplicating unit at a temperature of exactly 47 degrees Celsius. The investment form is held somewhat diagonally and then filled until about 1 centimeter of the auditory canal tip is covered. The negative form can alternatively be made of transparent silicone, which is automatically mixed in the mixing unit for silicone duplication in a bubble-free process. The investment form is then placed for a minimum of 20 minutes in the refrigerator to solidify the duplicating material. The impression removing instrument is then used to take the impression out of the duplicating material without damaging the negative form. Overhanging duplicating materials are cut off at a right angle by a scalpel without damaging the negative form. The form is carefully blown out with a slight pressure. Clear or pink SE blanks are made from agar light polymers. These tools and machines are used for manufacturing SE blanks from light curing material. Some LPH clear modeling paste is applied to work in the label, in the Simba on concha ear molds or in front of the auditory canal on auditory canal molds. The label is placed with tweezers in the modeling paste so that the lettering is clearly legible. After that, it is briefly polymerized in the light unit. The negative form of duplicating material is completely filled, bubble-free, with the desired color of light curing material. Then the negative form is carefully covered with black foil. The LP material is pre-polymerized in the agar light unit for about 3 to 4 minutes. The time is increased or decreased depending on the size of the shell and the transparency of the negative form. While a wall has been formed on the outside, the blank is still liquid in the middle. The still liquid material will be collected in the dipping jar for subsequent reuse. The negative form is again placed in the light unit. A timer exact to the second controls the preset 3-minute exposure time. The upper light level is then switched off on EL1. Without touching the surface, the blank is then removed from the negative form and placed in a transparent rectangular container. The LP cleaner inside must cover the blank completely during the subsequent polymerization process. The SE blank has an even surface when cleansed with clear water 5 to 6 minutes later and then blown dry with compressed air.